Hi my crafty friends, it's Helena. Today I'm going to show you how to make some paper feathers. I sort of stumbled across this a little bit and showed a few people and they were just like, wow, love it, want it. So I thought I'd come on and do a tutorial. They're pretty simple to make. You don't need a lot of stuff to do it. You might need a little bit of patience though. But practice makes perfect, right? And these are by no means perfect, but they are very cute. Ideal if you're doing a coastal journal or embellishments for what else? A writer's journal. That reminds me, I might put one into my recent writer's journal. A boho journal would be great. They can be done in any colour. The type of paper you want to be using is not too heavy, not too light. So this is like a, I think it's a Craft 6x6 sheet. And you can make the feather to any size, so depending on the size of the paper that you have is what size feather you'll end up having. So I've got, we'll make a couple, and this is a 6, I think they are 6 1/4 or 6 1/2, I think. This one's a 6x6, which is really pretty. It's directional, doesn't matter. White on the back, doesn't matter. You can use double-sided, but not too thick. I would say that's probably maybe 160 maximum. I'm not sure what weight those papers are. And as you can see, I've also done out of book page. That was done out of a 6x6 pad as well. Book page looks great, and with your book page, make sure it's not the type of book page that if you bend it, it'll break or get cracks in it, so just be careful of that, otherwise your feather might fall apart. What else do you need? Some good fine scissors. If you're like me who struggle a little bit, I have got recoil scissors, but that's absolutely not necessary. But you need something that's got a nice fine, good sharp point on the end of it. The other thing you're going to need is something very thin and like a knitting needle, a barbecue skewer that's round, wooden skewer, your pokey tool at a preferably something a little bit longer as well. So I just went to the op shop because I'm not a knitter, unfortunately. Well, I have knitted, but it's not great. So I just went to the op shop and got them for 50 cents, or the thrift shop. And if you want inking as well. So that's all we need: scissors, paper, something to roll it on. So we'll start with a coloured one, since we've already done a couple of these others, just to show you. So what we're going to do is, if it's directional, just decide which way you want facing up. I mean, you can have your words upside down if you want to, that's entirely up to you. But this one here, I don't think that matters too much. What I'm going to do is just bend it, fold it over maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches, depending again on, so this is going to be the length of your feather from top to bottom. And I'm going to show you the width. And what we want to try and do is like a peanut shape. Start off with a bit of a base like a feather would have, and you can draw yourself a template if you want to. Start off with a feather shape, go out, a peanut shape, feather shape, that's what we're trying to get to, right? Sort it out, Helena. And a little bit further, and then up to a point. So that's kind of, I mean, if you have a look at it, it does kind of look like a feather. If you've opened it up, that's kind of what you're left with. Alright, so it's kind of a peanut shape with a bit of a point at the top and at the bottom. Now is the time, if you do want to ink, because it's going to be a little bit more difficult later on if you want to try and do it later. Don't forget to do your spine and both sides. The This one doesn't really sharpen it too much, but that's perfectly okay. The cool thing about these is that you can absolutely adapt them to whatever journal or whatever you're trying to match it to. So you can change the size, you can change the colour, you can, you know, if you wanted a pattern on it, you know, you can match it to whatever you've got. And I'm just going to ink that as well. So yeah, these are white on the back, does not matter at all. So we're going to fold it back up like so, and we're going to start at the top. Now depending whether you're left hand or right hand, you can work that one out yourself. And with your scissors at the very top there, leave a little bit of a gap from where the point is, the fold, and all you're going to do is a sort of a semicircle cut towards the spine, and you want to leave a very small amount at the spine. So if you have a look here, see how there's a cut just on either side of the spine here. Now if you wanted to, you could just draw a line through here, you know, a couple of mils in, and then rub it out later. It could be a little bit difficult though, and you'll see why. But you'll get used to it. Just keep going and see how you go. Then all we're going to do is keep following that same line. Start at the top and semicircle round. Don't cut through your fold. That's your key thing. So you'll see you're just doing that. So I'm going to be quiet now, and I'm just going to therapeutically keep going, and if I think of something, I'll let you know. But just keep going. A nice little round, and they will get longer and longer, and that's perfectly okay. Now see how those are curling up? That's even better. See how you're getting a sort of like a curl on there? That's perfect. Make sure you keep the papers together. Now some of these cuts do look really long, and that's all good. After a while, when you're practicing, it's quite therapeutic actually. I quite enjoy this part of it. Now you're going to think you're going to run out of paper, but you're not. Just keep going. Try not to leave your point too wide, like don't try and cut it down here sort of thing, because you'll have like a sharp point on it. Try and keep it as much as you can. You see, I'm getting close. You don't want to cut into it. And by putting the curve on it, when you finish it, you'll see why. Now this one I will come down because we are getting to the end now. And again, there we go. And so what we've done is we've fine slits all the way down. That's what the other side looks like. So what we're going to do now is face it up towards you and open up your little, and then run your thumb down and open it up. If you flick it over now, run your thumb and sort of give it a bit of a flick up, because that's what feathers do, right? And then we're just going to manhandle it a little bit, give it a bit of a twisty, and there you have a cute little feather. Now obviously that's, you know, pretty floppy. So what we want to do is now make the spine part, and this is where your knitting needle is going to come in. So you can do it in a different paper, or you can match it with what you've already got. About 1.5 inches, just over 1 inch, straight piece of paper, and whatever colour you want up to be on your spine, that's what you want to have facing down, because you're going to roll it now. So what I tend to do is I put a bit of glue on here, and what we're going to do is to start it, because it can get a little bit tight and interesting. So we're just going to glue a piece down to get it started. Okay, and what we're going to do is roll it. So I will put it up this end here of the knitting needle, and this is why you probably need something a little bit longer. Just hold on to it nice and tight, and then just start twisting it and rolling it. Now this will take a bit of practice. I still struggle with it, but if you roll, don't let it go, because it will unravel. And try and keep it as tight as you can. It's okay if it's thinner and then you start to see it get fatter, which is fine, because the fat end is the one that's going to go at the base of the feather. So keep rolling, 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 roll, until you get to that sort of stage where you've just got a little bit left. Now, if it's not long enough, you're thinking, oh, it's not going to be long enough for my feather, just hold on to one end and just give it a little bit of a pull out. Don't let it go, because it will unravel, and that will sort of lengthen it out a bit as well. And then you're just going to put a double glue on here and roll it in. Okay, it's almost like making paper beads. Oh yes, I must do a paper bead. How many of you already made paper beads? Would you like to see me make some paper beads? They can be fun too. Nice little things to use up scraps, magazines and stuff like that. So then you just slide it off your knitting needle. Like I said, you'll have one end that's thinner than the other. If you don't, doesn't matter. And then what we're going to do is we're going to glue it down. So I just get a strip of glue. You can use PVA. I'm using art glitter only because it dries really quickly, but you can also use glue stick if you want to. It gives you a little bit more wriggle room if you want to play around with it. And then just glue your feather onto its little stalk. The other thing I do is that little base that you've got on the back there. Try and sort of fold that up around a little bit, and it sort of makes it look a little bit more realistic. Although I'm saying that, how often do you see pink feathers with roses on them, right? But anyway, you'll get the idea. It's a lovely time to play. And then have a little bit of fun. As I said, that's why you want to ink first, because you can imagine trying to go in there now and inking it. You could tear bits off. It could look a bit naff. But then, you know, feathers are like that. They're not perfect. They, you know, they have little bends and things in them, but you can make them as realistic or as you want. Shall we have another go? We'll do another one, quick one with some book page. So I'll fold it in half, make my spine, cut out my peanut. You can make yourself a template if you do find a shape that you really like. You know, that one's probably a little bit more peanut shape like. There we go. Oh, I better ink it Otherwise, book page I think always looks better when it's inked. You can ink the whole lot if you like. Let's do that this time, see what it comes up like. Gives it a little bit more definition, but definitely book page when you ink on the edges, and it gives it a nice definition when you curl it all up. Right. See, I'm not too fussy about some of the way I do this stuff. Okay, so start from the top and round in a semicircle. Right, now I will be quiet. This is the part I love. Glue, glue, glue. If you're wanting to ink at the centre, you can do that while it's still sitting on the whatever you've rolled it on. Slide it off. Actually, that was a pretty good one. I'm quite happy with that one. Top, bottom, glue that around the base a bit more. Push them out. Give it a bit of a snap. And that is how you make paper feathers. Any colour to suit. Let me know what you think. Have a great day.